Hi guys, welcome. Today is going to be a book haul of all the books I bought while I was on my trip last month in July. I didn't think I was going to get that many, but here I am. Many. The next couple of videos are going to take a little bit of extra work, so I thought let's just do a book haul this Tuesday. It'll be fun. It'll be different content, but we'll be back to Final Fantasy Guild Wars 2 content next Tuesday. I have some fun video ideas in the pipeline for you guys. I hope you like them. But this week we're going to talk about books because apparently I keep my manga reading on the down low and I just want to share with you guys what I picked up. There's going to be manga here, but there's also like regular books. I do read a lot of like YA books or just like, I don't really know what to call these. I don't really know. I'm not very good at like categorizing what a book is, honestly. I just pick it up off a table or a shelf, and if it sounds good, I buy it. But yeah, so I went to a lot of bookshops. So let's just jump right into it because my AC is off. And even though it's not that hot today, it gets really hot up here, and I don't like it. I need to get this AC back on. But Poe's here sleeping in the background. Cubby's around somewhere. I'm sure he'll come and bother me, but let's get going. The first bookstore we went to, I didn't get any. It was a coffee shop bookstore, and I was like, I don't need any more books. I had already ordered books for the trip. Like, I'm not going to show you guys what those are because they were not picked up on the trip. They were picked up for the trip, and I don't think that counts. So I didn't get anything. But then we went to a bookstore while we were out and about. I was showing him around Willamette Valley. We went to 3rd Street Books in McMinnville, which is one of my favorite bookshops, even though it is a bit of a jaunt for me to get there. I love this bookstore. So while we were there, I grabbed King of Battle and Blood, and I grabbed this because I was like, I looked through it, I was like, this doesn't look like it's a series, it looks like it's a standalone, and I'm tired of reading series and then having to wait. And so this one is very much up my alley. It's like enemies to lovers kind of thing. Like, I'm not really going to go into it too much because I don't know if anybody on this channel cares about these kind of books, but this is my bread and butter right here. Enemies to lovers. She has to marry the enemy vampire king to save her kingdom, and stuff happens from there. And this is the first book in at least a trilogy, and none of the other books are out yet, so I am disappointed in myself. But King of Battle and Blood, if you like that kind of story, this is definitely for you. It's nothing unique, but I don't need unique, I just need this. And then I also grabbed Magic Steeped in Poison. It's like beautiful. This is like one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen, and it's been on my TBR because I've been hearing people talk about it. As far as I know, it's kind of like magic through tea, and there's like a competition. She's got to save her sister or something like that. I don't know, but it's beautiful, and I've heard good things about it, and I'm very excited to read this. I thought I would read it on my trip. Oh no, I bet the bat. Oh, but I thought I would read this on the trip, but I actually got stuck in a quagmire of a book. It was a weird book. It was Things We Never Got Over. I didn't know it was this big when I bought it, and what I could do a whole video on that book, but this is not a book channel. Maybe I'll start another channel just for books. But after that bookstore, we headed into Portland, and of course I had to take him to Powell's, and we went to Powell's purely for their manga section, but Powell's manga, as most manga sections, are very hit and miss. Most places only carry the most recent releases of series and stuff like that, and then Powell's is a used and new bookstore, so you never know. You could get really lucky and find a good quality used copy of an earlier version of the manga, but we didn't really get lucky. But I did find some other stuff. I thought I had one more, but I'm pretty sure I only got 4 books there. I got Hold Still, which is by Nina LaCour, and I just love Nina LaCour. Her books make me sad, but they're really good. And I haven't read this one. I think this is her, is this a debut? I don't know. She only has 3 books out that I could see, and this is the one that I haven't read. aside from one that she wrote with somebody, and I didn't want to grab that. Then I grabbed the Charmed List, which is best friends to enemies to lovers is what it says. This one is a young adult because it's about like high school students, but there's like magic involved and a cute little romance, I am assuming, based on the cover. It sounds cute. And then I also got A Little Too Familiar, which is an adult romance with magic, and my favorite book genre is romance with witches, and so I was like, yeah, I'll take those. I'm very excited to read them. This one especially because it deals with like because the main character wants to be like an animal mage who bonds familiars to their witches, and like, yeah, that sounds really good. I'm excited to read that one. And then I also picked up Blood Red by Mercedes Lackey. This is a used copy. It was like $7, and I love Mercedes Lackey, and for $7 I was like, I'll get that. It's a beautiful book and I want it. So that was Powell's. I don't think Arden got anything at either of these bookstores. It was mostly just me shopping. Just me, because he wanted some mangas and we couldn't find the ones that he wanted at these stores. After Portland, we headed out to Hood River and Mount Hood. Didn't do any book shopping there, but we did then go to Bend, and in Bend they had a surprising amount of bookstores. So the first one I went to was called Dudley's Bookshop Cafe, which is a coffee shop with books, which is like right up my alley. We have one of those where I live, but the bookshop part is very secondary, whereas with Dudley's it was kind of like the primary part, and it was awesome. I loved it. I ended up getting The Council of Animals, which was on their like book talk table, but I've never seen anybody talk about this book, and it was really good. It's about like humans do like a big disaster and pretty much wipe themselves out except for a couple small colonies, and the animals get together to decide if they should eat the humans or let them live, and it's kind of about that. It was really interesting. It was a very, very quick read for me. It took me a single night to read through this while on the trip, and definitely if it sounds good to you, I would check it out. It's also just a beautiful book. But I also picked up A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, which will be right here. I've heard about this book for, I think it's been years at this point that I've heard about this book. I see it recommended through some of the people I follow on BookTube. And so I was like, I saw it, and it's kind of expensive. It's shorter than this. It's a novella, so it's like 150 pages. Yeah, this one's 200. It's like 150 pages, and it's a $20-something book, and I was always like, I don't have a lot of money. So that one was always really tough for me, but I was like, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna buy this freaking book because it's a beautiful book. I've heard nothing but good things. So I bought it, and all I can say is it was worth the money. You should read it. It's set in like a different world, I think. And they have robots doing like everything, and at some point the robots gain sentience and just walk out of the factories and everything, and so it's kind of about what the society decided to do after that. And it's a lot about like if you live in essentially a utopia but you're not happy, like how do you deal with that, which was not what I expected going into it. It was a really interesting read, and I definitely recommend it. I picked up the second one later in the trip, and I'm excited to read that one. I don't have my copy because my mom is reading it right now, but definitely read it if that sounds interesting to you. It makes you kind of think, and as somebody who deals with depression and anxiety in a not perfect world, it makes some points. So then we went to Pegasus Books of Bend, which is, I don't even know, like, it's comic books, it's games, it's regular books, it's a lot of everything. They have like records, figures. It was chaos. Like, going in there looking for something specific doesn't seem like a good idea. Going in there just letting the shop get you whatever is a good idea. So we went there twice because we went there once and they had what Arnon was looking for. I think he was looking for Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know. I think that was what it was. So he picked up some of that and we got back and the next day and he was like, I need to go get some more. So we went there twice and I'm going to start with this book because this is the book I saw in their window. It's called Book of Werewolf Stories. It's just like, it's the horror zines. So it's just kind of like a collection of werewolf stories. And one of these stories is written by the guy who owns Pegasus Books. So I'm excited to read these. I love werewolves. They're probably, I think I like them more than I like vampires in terms of like fantasy monsters, I guess. But I'm excited to read this. It's just kind of like a bunch of werewolf stories. And I think it's more horror, which I'm fine with. I like reading horror. I don't like watching horror. I picked up Ice Planet Barbarians, which if you are on Book Talk or BookTube, you have heard of this. This isn't quite up my alley. I'm not really a big alien romance person, but I think that whoever did these covers, like, amazing. I want to get all of them just because the cover art is beautiful, and I will read them. It should be a fun little read. So I picked this one up, finally. I picked up Final Fantasy Lost Stranger #1. It's, what is it called? An isekai? When somebody dies and ends up in another universe. It's essentially like a boy and his sister love Final Fantasy games, and they get in a car accident and wake up to realize that they are in Final Fantasy and how they go with that. And so I was like, yeah, I need that. I didn't even know this existed. So I'm pretty excited to read it. They only had the first one, so once I get through it, I'll have to try to find the second one. Then I picked up Penguin and House, which is just a cute slice of life manga about a penguin whose owner is an incompetent buffoon. I don't like him. And I picked up the first 3 because if I've learned anything is that if they have them, you should just grab them because you never know when you're gonna see them again. So I got the first 3 of these. I don't think I'm gonna pick up any more than these 3. I don't know if any more than these 3 exist, but it took me a long time to read the first one, which is fine. The art in here is just like super cute. The penguin is just like adorable. Like it's cute. And they're all just like tiny little stories, but the owner, man, I don't like that dude. And then I got Deadbeats, which is a musical horror anthology, and it was recommended by the person working there. It's just a graphic novel, different horror stories. They wrote one of them, and so they signed it for me. So should be a good one to read. They're pretty excited. I really liked Pegasus Books of Bend. I look forward to going back to both Pegasus and Dudley's next time I'm in Bend because they were some good finds. Okay. After that, we were driving around Bend to go get pizza and we saw Barnes & Noble and I was like, we gotta go to Barnes & Noble because honestly, I don't know if it's just my experience, but if you're looking for manga, Barnes & Nobles always have like incredible sections, and lo and behold, they had everything that Arnon was looking for, and they had something that I've been looking for. I wanted Sweat and Soap. I have the first one, it's adorable, and they had the next 2 and 3, which like I haven't been able to find them. I could go to places and they have like 6 and 7, and I'm like, I need 2 and 3, and I've already read number 2. So cute, I love these. Number 3 is sitting on my like TBR shelf over there, but super cute, super glad to find these guys. They're really, really adorable. I don't really know how to explain it. It's about like a girl who sweats a lot, and she works for a company that makes like body washes and scents and stuff because she likes to get the perks of working there. They smell nice, and she gets like nice smelling stuff to cover up her like sweatiness. And one of the like lead scent designers smells her before she can like put on any scentsy stuff, and he's like, oh my god, you smell so good, will you let me smell you? It sounds really weird, but it's really cute. There is a little bit of lewd in there, so if you don't like that, I would avoid it, but it's like very minor. And then I picked up Call of the Night, which is, I'd never heard of it before. I got the first one. They didn't have the second or anything there, so I only got the first one. I'd never heard of it before. It's about a young boy who doesn't like his life, so he just starts walking around at night, meets a vampire, and wants to become a vampire. And to become a vampire in here, you have to fall in love with a vampire. So he's trying to fall in love with her, and she's like, love is for losers, or something like that. But he's 14, which kind of bothers me, but I feel like that's kind of how a lot of manga is that the main characters are like young. And I'm just kind of trying to forget that he's 14, especially with like how this one ends. I was like, a little bit weird for a 14-year-old. Okay. But those are what I got manga-wise at Barnes & Noble. And then they had a buy one get one 50% off table, and I went a little bit crazy there because there's a lot of like young adult or like mid-adult or new adult or whatever you want to call it, books that I've had on my want to buy, want to read, but I just haven't been able to like pull the trigger because they're kind of expensive and do I want to read them that badly. But when I saw this table, I was like, I'll read them that badly. So I picked up Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I've heard good things. I picked up The Iron King, which is a series, but it looks like most of it's already out. It sounds like a enemies to lovers, fairies, I don't know. I actually haven't heard of this one, but I was looking for a fourth book from the table to get my final get one 50% off. And it sounds like my kind of thing. Then I picked up Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I swear I started this video being like, I don't want series, and then here I am picking up Throne of Glass of all things. This is like 10-book series or something, but I'll get to it eventually. And then I picked up A Winter's Promise, which I just saw somebody, I think was doing Polarthon or something like that, and I think that was what it was. I don't know. It was some like winter themed summer readathon, and they were reading this one and they seemed to enjoy it and the story sounds interesting, so I was like, sure, I'll grab that one for 50% off or whatever. So that's what I got at Barnes & Noble. So after Bend, we headed out to the coast, and while we were in Seaside, there was a bookstore called Beach Reads, and they had a lot of really good stuff. But at this point, I was kind of like, I can't buy a whole lot more books. I already don't have enough space in my room for the books that I do have. Like, you could see I have just like stacks of books around. But we went in and they had A Prayer for the Crown Shy, which is the second book in the Psalm for the Wild-Built, a Psalm for the Wild-Built. It's called like the Monk and Robot book series, so this is the second one, and it's actually signed by the author. So pretty. Whoops. Very excited to read this one and see where the characters are going now. After that, our final stop was Powell's in Cedar Hills. We went a little bit crazy there because, so Powell's, like I said, their manga section can be pretty hit or miss. Cedar Hills manga section is, in my opinion, better than the downtown one. And part of it I think might be that it's in Cedar Hills, so it doesn't get as picked over as much. But went a little bit crazy there. So I got the first Spy X Family, which this is the first like time I've seen the first one out and about. I did not see the second one anywhere. I don't think it exists, but I got the first one. I've read it. Super cute. I like the anime, but I don't know. I just have a hard time watching anime. I'd rather just read the mangas. So this one was super cute. I love this one. I got Sword Art Online, Einkrad, and it's not a manga. It's the book. I didn't know this existed. I have mixed feelings about Sword Art Online, because at some point Kirito just kind of becomes like incredibly overpowered, and I hate what happens once they get out of the game. I can't watch the elf one. I can't watch that. When Asuna's in the birdcage and stuff, I cannot handle that. But I really like the idea of the first section of the first season, and we watched the movie over the trip with Asuna and how she gets there. And so I saw that and I was like, you know what, I'll grab it. And then they had more Sweat and Soap. They actually had like through book 12, but I had to be like, no, I can't get through book 12. So I got 4, 5, and 6 of Sweat and Soap. I'm pretty excited. Look how cute this one is. Look how cute that cover is. Adorable. And I picked up That Wolf Boy Is Mine, number 2, the omnibus or whatever you call these. I saw this at Pegasus and I was like, wait, did I see this at Pegasus? I don't know. I think Pegasus only had the second one too. I saw the first 2 somewhere and I don't remember where I saw them. Oh, it was Barnes & Noble. I saw them and I almost got them at Barnes & Noble and I was like, no, I'm already getting enough things at Barnes & Noble. I'm not gonna pick up this series. They shoved like a ton of bookmarks in there. I was like, I'm not gonna pick up this series. It's $15, which is not bad for like this big, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy both of them. So at this last Powell's, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grab it. And I ordered the first one online. I already have it. I'm ready to read it. It sounds cute. I hope it's cute. And then they actually had Call of the Night 2 and 3. So I grabbed 2 and 3 from there. I'm very excited to read these because I want to see where the story goes now that his like friend is involved. His like school friend is involved. Pretty excited to read these guys. And then I got one like actual, oh well, I guess Sword Art Online was an actual book, but I picked up this Crazy Stupid Bromance. I've started it. Not sure really how I feel about it. It feels a little bit preachy, but hopefully it's cute in the long run. It's a little bit weird. I didn't realize this was like in the middle of a series, but I think you can read these as standalones. This one's kind of like a best friends to lovers story, where they both really like each other, but she doesn't think he's interested and he doesn't want to ruin their friendship. And he's involved in a romance book club. Well, he's not. His friends run a romance book club where they read romance books because they think that they'll help them with their own relationships, and I guess that it does for other books. They're trying to get him to join so that they can be like, look, you love your best friend, you should just tell her, and I'm sure she loves you too, blah 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 blah. But at the same time, the main girl, the main woman character, just found out she's got siblings. Like, she didn't know who her dad was. This girl comes into her store and is like, I'm your sister and your dad needs a kidney and you might be a match. And I'm just like, it's a lot. That's a lot, alright? And I'm only like this far into the book. I don't know. I hope it's good. I'm gonna read it. I'm reading it. Oh, that was probably a shaky thing. But yeah, so that's all the books that I picked up on this trip. I didn't count them. I don't know how many they are, but it's a lot more than I thought because I knew we were going to go to Powell's, but I didn't know we were going to go to any of these other bookstores. And I didn't know that Arnon was going to want to go to all these bookstores. He's not a big reader. He doesn't read a lot of like fiction. He reads like non-fiction and I guess like mangas now too, because he picked up quite a few. He got the first 4 books of Solo Leveling, a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen. He started picking it up like at the end, like where the anime left off. He picked up like the next like 6 mangas. And I don't know if he wants to read any of what I have, but yeah, so we went to a lot of bookshops and he was like looking up more because he wanted to go to more. He wanted to go to another Barnes and Noble, but it was kind of far away. And I'm like, I think we've done enough. I think we've made enough of a dent. I already have ordered like another bookshelf that I'm gonna like swap something out with to put these guys in because it's a lot. I picked up a lot of books and I took like 15 books on the trip with me. and then picked up all of these books. I actually like met up with my mom at one point on the trip. We met her for like a day, and I was like, you have to take these off my hands because I can't travel with 40 books. It's too much. But yeah, have you guys read any of these? Are you into any of these mangas? Based on these ones, do you guys have any recommendations for me? I'm not really into horror mangas because I don't like seeing horror. I like reading horror. So like Junji Ito, I think is who it is. I can't read his stuff. But I do like vampires and romance and cute stuff. So if you have any recommendations, feel free to hit me with some. Or if there's any animes that you think I might like the mangas. I am not a fan of Attack on Titan, so please don't recommend that to me. I do like My Hero, but that is a lot of reading. I have started purchasing My Hero and Demon Slayer, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this walkthrough of books. Next week we'll be back to your regular content. I'm pretty excited about the video I have scheduled for next week. I hope you guys like it. I have to do a lot of filming this weekend for it. But yeah, and then I have an idea for the video on the 23rd, I think is that Tuesday. And I really hope that it works out. I hope it works out. Fingers crossed. That one's going to take a lot of effort on my part too. So I hope that one works out. I hope you guys like it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I put out 5 videos, or no, I put out 7 videos every week. I don't know what I do. I put out a video every day of the week. No, I don't do videos every day of the week. I need to stop saying that. I just remembered. I don't put out videos on Saturdays and Sundays. Oh my gosh. It's been too long. I put out videos 5 days a week. 3 days of the week, it's archived footage from Final Fantasy XIV. I'm working through archiving every single quest in the game. And the other 2 days of the week, it's whatever the heck I want to put out. And today I wanted to do books. And on Thursday, you're going to see another End of Dragons playthrough video. So I hope you guys are liking that too. Oh, I have to make a dislike video. I forgot we have a whole new banner. Oh my goodness. So you might see that this weekend. There might be a Saturday video. Last weekend. It'll be last weekend. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna stop. I'm driving myself crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.